Romantasy. Welcome to my channel. It is May 31st, and the Escape the Readathon is pretty much over. And so, just to kind of wrap that up, I did not read any more books the past couple of days. I have been doing a lot of writing and reading some fan fiction, and that's just kind of where I've been this week. So, you know, in all, I think it was still a good month. I still read, I think, 9 books, and I played Stardew Valley, and I did a good bit of writing this past 2 weeks, I think. Read some fan fiction, which I haven't actually done in a while, so, you know, all fun things. No regrets. That being said, starting tomorrow on June 1st, I'm going to participate in another readathon. This one is the Amazing Readathon, and it is hosted by Bree, and her channel is 4 Paws and a Book, I believe. And I think I'll try to leave her down in the description so you can go over to her videos and you can look at her introduction to the Amazing Readathon video that she has, because she'll explain it so much better than me. But this is her second year. Last year she did teams kind of based on colors, and this year she's doing teams based on genre. And that's not to say that you have to read the genre for the team that you're on, but it does mean that if you read the genre for the team that you're on for whatever prompt, you do get extra points from what I understand. There's no real planning for this readathon. From what I understand, she's going to be dropping 10 prompts like every 3 to 4 days, thereabouts, in the month of June. And they're going to be, I want to say, kind of generic to kind of fit people being able to get books for whatever they're doing. But these 10 prompts are also associated with, I think, 10 locations, and it's like the Amazing Race. And so she'll drop the first prompt probably tomorrow with the first location, and so you have to read that book, or, well, you have to find a book for that prompt, read that book to get to that destination in order to be able to proceed when she drops the next prompt. Find a book for that to be able to go to that destination next. Like I said, she can explain it so much better in her video if you want to go watch it. I know that there's other things that are involved. There's I think like a money, everybody gets like a certain amount of money in order to travel to all these places, even with the books. So, you know, there's different layers to the readathon, and I think that it's going to be a lot of fun. But again, I don't know the prompts, and I won't know the prompts until she drops them. And so there's no real planning when it comes to being able to plan for that readathon. That being said, there are a couple of books that I would like to try to get to this month. Of course, I already said that I was participating in every Romantasy challenge that Cassidy is created and put together on her channels with Covers with Cassidy. And there are 8 books on that, and I'm going to try to be reading those between June, July, and August. So I was thinking about reading one or two of the books that are on that, for that challenge, for those different tropes. I'm not quite sure which ones right now, but I'm kind of thinking possibly the Bridge Kingdom, as well as Flame and Sparrow. But we're gonna have to see about that. Because I'm very much a mood reader. I don't know if that's become apparent or not, but I am very much a mood reader. And I can say that, you know, I read something till I'm blue in the face. So I'm going to read this book. I'm going to read it. 2 weeks later, I hadn't touched it. So we'll see how it goes. And then, you know, of course, there's other times where when I'm like, oh, I'm in the mood to read this. And so I make kind of a little tentative TBR about it. And I actually do read those books. So, yeah, it really depends on the mood that I'm in, on what I'm actually going to read. So, one book that I'm fairly sure that I'm going to read this month is Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. So this guy. I do believe he comes out June 18th. He is not out quite yet. But I have, in the past 2 years, I want to say, I really like Riley Sager as kind of like one of my mystery thriller authors. I don't really have many of those. I think, you know, maybe Riley Sager, and then definitely Darcy Coates. Definitely love Darcy Coates. And then I want to say that I'm kind of also leaning a little bit towards John Mars. So I don't really have like authors in that genre for me that I'm just like, yes, I want to read the book. I'm going to read that book when it comes out. And Riley Sager is actually one of those authors. I read, I think, Every Locked Door and, what was that one? The Only One Left. I read that one. I think there might have been one or two other ones that I've read by Riley Sager that I enjoyed. I think Every Locked Door was definitely, Home After Dark. That was one of the ones that I read by Riley Sager, and that is my favorite. And then the next one would be Every Locked Door. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to Middle of the Night. And from what I can understand from the synopsis, you know, apparently a man, his childhood best friend, disappeared from their neighborhood. I think they're like doing this like camping thing in the backyard, and he just disappeared. And he was never seen again. And then, you know, they come back and it's like, I think it's 30 years later when he comes back. And yeah, I guess he's gonna find out what's going on with that pretty late in the game. But I do enjoy when Riley Sager does the whole present timeline and then it has like flashbacks to the past, which I'm assuming that this book is going to have that type of theme. And I enjoy that. I enjoy how they build it. So that is definitely one book that I'm going to read this month. Like, hands down, no excuses. I will, if nothing else, I will have that one book read this month. It's gonna happen. So another book that I would really like to get to, and I hope that I do, is the second book in the Ruinous Love trilogy, Leather and Lark by Bryony Weaver. And you know, I'm pretty sure I keep saying this poor author's name different ways every time I say it. pretty sure that I am. So if you haven't read Butcher and Blackbird, that is the first book in this trilogy, and it is definitely, I think, more of a dark romance. Definitely a dark romance, because the main characters are serial killers. So you know it's going to be on the dark side when you have a serial killer involved in a romance. So I gave Butcher and Blackbird 5 stars. I think I read it in like December, end of December in 2023. Really enjoyed it. It was really fun. And I liked, you know, the whole premise of it. And so I told myself, you know, when I heard that there was another one coming out real soon, I was like, I'm buying it. I'm reading it. Yes. And from what I understand, the main lead male in Butcher and Blackbird, he has 2 brothers. And so this one is about one of the brothers as well. And I think it's also about the main female character's best friend. And I want to think, like, thinking into the future, that the third one, since it's a trilogy, is probably going to be about the third brother. I don't know about the third female character. I think I might have a slight idea on that, but I'm not going to say anything about it though, because you learn about that possibility in the first book. So we'll just leave it at that. And Leather and Lark is the second possibility for my Tentative June TBR. Next is How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying by Django Wexler. So I've read from Django Wexler before. I read a trilogy that he has where the first book is called The Ashes of the Sun. And I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy that. I have another, the first book in another series that he wrote. I think it's a young adult series, but I have not read it yet. I know, shame on me. But I will, I really do want to get to this one. So it says, Davy has done this all before. She's tried to be the hero and take down the all-powerful Dark Lord. 100 times she's rallied humanity and made the final charge, but the time loop always gets her in the end. Sometimes she's killed quickly, sometimes it takes a while, but she's been defeated every time. This time, she's done being the hero and done being stuck in this endless time loop. If the Dark Lord always wins, then maybe that's who she needs to be. It's Davy's turn to play on the winning side. So it kind of sounds very, like, kind of video gamey, with the whole, like, oh, you die and then you come back, and then you die and you come back, or something like that. I don't know if that's actually how it's going to be, but that's kind of how it sounds, is a little video gamey, and I kind of like that idea. So that would be the third possibility. Another possibility is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. So I think Apple TV is having a little, like, mini series coming out possibly this month, like in June, for this book. And it seems really interesting from the trailers. And it's kind of, there's this genius in one possible dimension, and he's somehow found a way to go into somebody else's dimension, where he found, like, himself in that dimension, and apparently that person of himself is not, like, I don't know if they're a genius or not in that, and they're just not working in a lab or whatever. But apparently they have a family, and so the guy that had the family wakes up in the world or dimension that the genius came from, and the genius is where he was, or something like that. And he has to try to find a way back to his dimension and to his family. It sounds really interesting, and I do really like reading the books to movies or shows before I actually see the movies or the shows. So I really want to get this in before I watch the show. And Mel from Melonor Reads, on her Discord for her Patreons, we're doing a watch along together, and I think we're just gonna like wait until a good bit of them come out and then binge them. And I don't know if we're gonna wait until like the whole thing is out, or like just like 3 episodes or so. I'm not quite sure how it's gonna work out, but she on her Patreon is doing a watch along for it sometime towards the end of this month, I think. And so I definitely want to try to read this before then. Then I have one other possibility that's just kind of catching my eye. I don't know if I'm actually going to read it. I kind of want to, because, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, that looks interesting, and, you know, I think I'll enjoy it, whatnot. But that is Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Maher, or I'm butchering it. I'm so sorry. I'm really bad with names. So I think that this is kind of like, I know it's a romance. I don't know if it's like, I mean, it's got a villain in it, and I don't know if it's like a fantasy type villain, or I don't know, a mob villain. I mean, you can choose different people to be villains in different worlds, and they not, I don't know what I'm saying, but it sounds interesting. You know, she needs a job, she finds a job, and somehow, in order to you know, to keep her job, because finding a job is hard, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to, she's trying to like save or protect or find stuff out in order to make sure that this villain doesn't die, because she needs, you know, she needs a job. So that would be the last possibility. So we're gonna see how that goes. So we're gonna see how the 5 books that I kind of went over in this video fit some of the prompts that are coming up in June. And then of course there's the other 2 options that I might read from the Every Romantasy challenge, which I'll put my video at the end if anybody wants to watch that to see any, you know, they want to check out the 8 books that are on that I would like to do for that challenge. You know, so I don't go over them all over again. But those are kind of it. So I've got, you know, I've got these 4 guys here, and then The Middle of the Night by Riley Sager that I do not have yet, and I don't think we'll get until probably more towards the end of June, since I think it comes out like June 16th, 17th, like that. I'll probably get it closer to June 20th. So that's going to be my tentative TBR for June. Kind of, you know, the whole readathon that I'm participating in. Not escape the readathon. Too many readathons. The Amazing Readathon, which again I will try to link Bree's YouTube channel in my description, And I will also do that with Cassidy and Mel as well. And we're gonna see how this month goes. Will I read? How much will I read? Will I not read? Will I be stuck reading fanfiction all month? Or will I, you know, write a whole bunch? Maybe finish editing my book, but not go crazy. I'm not. That's probably not going to happen. But that's just kind of what I'm doing in June, or the plan I have for June. And so like and subscribe if you would like to, and I will see you next time. Bye.